about who a healthy person is. We talked about the qualities of the mind and the states of the mind, the three bodies, which are physical, subtle, and causal. Then you went ahead and talked about the chakras, the 7 chakras in the body, and then the nadis. And then this is actually, when we talk about the mind-body aspect, mind-body-spirit aspect of Ayurveda, what you basically covered was the mind and spirit aspect of Ayurveda. Then the 3 main nadis, the 14 different nadis. We won't ask you to list them, don't worry, the names. But you should have an idea about what it is. And lastly, you also talked about how to calm the mind. You talked about the qualities of the mind and what it does, and then you also talked about what to do to calm the mind, which included meditation, japa, pranayama, chanting, right? So this was the whole idea of the class, to get you to know the Ayurvedic aspect of the mind and how it plays a role in disease, that you will learn later obviously, but how it plays a role in disease, because in Ayurveda all diseases start from the mind, that is what we say. Although on a physical level it then boils down to how your metabolic function is on a physical level, but it starts first in the mind, in the form of thought, because thought is energy, right? So they say if you put out good thoughts, you get them good things back. Now obviously if you put out negative thoughts, it's definitely going to come back as well. And also know that that thought has a lot of potential, a lot of energy. I'm getting metaphysical here. That thought has a lot of potential, lot of energy. So know that if you're visualizing a certain thing with a lot of energy and thought, putting a lot of energy and putting it out in the universe, it is going to materialize for you. And there is no doubt about it. Okay? So know that if this is happening, what kind of thoughts to put out, right? So if you go into a spiral of thoughts where you are constantly thinking about negative things, so this is not happening, oh I tried to do this and this did not work, you are reinforcing that energy with your thought. But the moment you go the opposite way, you think of positive affirmative things, oh this is what I want to do, this is what I look at myself doing, this is what how my body will be, this is how healthy I will be, I will not have this problem, I will not have allergies, whatever, you're putting out a positive thought. The moment you do that, that is going to materialize as well, right? It may take 1 year, it may take 2 years, it may take 15 years, you don't know, but it will come true. Okay, so this is the psychological aspect. I mean, I'm going too much deeper into it, but you kind of know, the subtle anatomy, what we talked about in the previous class, and how to apply it. Okay, so I'm going to go over the entire class, page by page, but not too much in detail, because our focus now is on nutrition. You have learned this class for 2 entire days. Okay. So, talking about the human body, first we talk about Sattvam Atma Shariram Cha Trayam Etat Tridandavat. So, first we talk about the 3 pillars, right? So, what are the 3 pillars? The mind, the body, and the soul. Okay. Then you talked about who is a healthy person. So, So you talked about a healthy person. Now who is a healthy person? A healthy person is one. Now sama means balanced. Okay? Sama means balanced. So you have sama, sama, sama. Okay? Now balanced what? So balanced doshas, balanced agni, balanced dhatu, and balanced malakriya. Malakriya means the excretions of the body. Okay? So a person who has balanced doshas, now you know about doshas. What are the doshas? The energies which are vata, pitta and kapha. Then you have the body energies which form the prakriti, which is your body, unique body type, your fingerprint of nature. And then you have those same doshas which when become imbalanced will cause vikruti, which is an imbalance in your body. So the idea is to stay in your prakriti and not cause that imbalance. That is what you mean by balanced doshas. Balanced agni. Now do you have the concept of agni? Okay. So agni, the literal translation, Sanskrit translation of agni is fire. Talking in perspective of Ayurveda, we are mainly looking at the fire in the body, which is nothing but your digestive fire, or you could relate it to the enzymes and the acids, etc. in the body, okay, or the energy behind all of those. So sama agni. Now in the nutrition class we will talk about 4 types of agni as well. Okay, so even there are 4 different types, out of which you want it to be balanced, which will ensure that your digestion is perfect, and digestion is the key to health. So that's why sama agni. Sama dhatu. Dhatus are the building blocks of the body, the tissues of the body, which sustain the body, hold the body. There are how many dhatus? 7, which are rasa, rakta, mansa, meta, asti, maja, and shukra. 7 dhatus, okay? I'm having you do this because that kind of helps you again go back and memorize the names, which I'm sure you have already mastered by now. So sama dhatu and malakriya. Malakriya is excretions. Now excretions from the body include the bowel movement, urine, sweat. So all of these 3 need to get out of the body as well. Now what do you mean by those being balanced? So if you have too much of a thing or too little of thing, it's going to cause disease. Okay? So malakriya, excretions become as important as food. Okay? So from experience with patients that I've seen, I can tell you, there were clients who came in with a lot of toxicity in the body and lethargy and this, the concept of ama, I'm sure by now. So a lot of ama in the body, and simple questions, there are simple things you have to go back to. One question I asked them, do you have a bowel movement regularly? Is it every day? No, it's up to 3 days. So that person was, having a bowel movement after 3 days. Things that are supposed to get out of the body at least once a day, if not twice, if you're a pitta prakriti, were not going out every day. It was staying in the body. So obviously those toxins which are now in that mala or in that waste are going to be reabsorbed in the body. The moment they are reabsorbed, his intake had not reduced. He was still eating. Okay? So, for something to function correctly, as much as you put in, that much has to get out as well. That much or whatever amount has to get out. That was not happening. So, the main cause of his problem was the bowel movement. Let alone, he had many other things which he presented with, but I did not give importance to any of those. I told you need to correct this, and all those things will fall in place. And within 1 or 2 weeks, after having given him herbs to correct his motion patterns, all his symptoms subsided. I did not have to treat a single one. Okay, so that's why malakriya Very important. And in the next class, when you learn in Swastha Vritta, you will also learn the reason why. Okay? And all the details. So, so Malakriya. So Samadosha, Samagnishcha, Samadhatu, Malakriya. Now this, when we talk about these four things, we are talking about the physical body. Do you realize that? It's all the physical body. But when you go on to the next line, you'll see now that you are at the mind and spirit level. When you talk about Prasanna, Atma, which is soul, Indriya, senses, Mana, mind. So Prasanna means a blissful state of these three, or a joyous state of these three things. Okay? So if you have this, but if you do not have this, you are not healthy. Or if you have this, but you do not have the top, you are not healthy. So it is extremely important to have both to maintain the absolute state of health. Okay? So this is the definition of a healthy person in Ayurveda. So what is mind? Mind. Manyate iti manah. Meaning mind is the one that creates realization. Right? Where does it, what is the place of it? Where is it located in the body? In the heart. But the functioning occurs from the brain. Right? Okay. Then what are the qualities of the mind? Oh, also, before I go to that, mind is also called as a Ubhayendriya. Indriya is senses. Ubhaya in Sanskrit means dual or both. Okay? Because it governs your sense organs as well as the organs of action, meaning Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, it is called Ubhayendriya. Okay? Because it is responsible, it is an organ of perception as well as organ of action. It takes an input from the sense organs and the output is through your motor organs. Okay? The qualities of the mind are Ekatva and Anutva. Ekatva means, Ek means one. Okay? Ek means one. So, Ekatva means that at a certain point of time, the mind can only and only be associated with one thing, object, or whatever is there, or sense organ, or information. Okay? Because this information the mind gets in a very short period of time. Okay? In less than 1 second, it seems that the mind can get multiple information at the same time. But that is not true. The mind can only and only be associated only with one task at one time, which means that multitasking is not a great thing, right? Although, we are very proud of the fact that we can multitask, but it is very important to know that if you focus only on one thing, you will excel at it more than multitasking. Does that make sense? Okay. And that is nothing but meditation, right? Because you focus only on one thing, and the moment you focus only on one thing, you improve your focus, you improve your clarity, and as you meditate more and more, you get more and more insights. Okay? The second quality is Anutva. Now what does that mean? Meaning that